Good evening, everyone. Welcome and thank you for coming to the Amador County Fair, as Frank said, and to the 2015 Miss Amador Scholarship Competition. The purpose of this competition tonight is to acknowledge the youth of our county for their standard of excellence and achievement, and to motivate young people to greater commitment for community service. And that's very important. This fair is built on community service, and I think at this time we should applaud all the community groups and service organizations and the individuals that make this Amador County Fair the best small county fair in California. Right now I'm going to cast my vanity aside, put my glasses on. So Miss Amador and her court serve as the official hostesses of Amador County and the fair, the county as a whole. These young ladies serve as leaders for 1 year and as public relations specialists, not only for the fair, but for the county, as I mentioned before. Now, scholarships awarded this evening, I want you to listen to these numbers because these are different numbers than you've come to believe was going to take place tonight, okay? Tonight, we're going to give away a total of $5,500 because of the overwhelming generosity and support from our community. These scholarships for this year have been increased $250, and I think that, again, deserves an applause to everybody that... Tonight, Miss Amador will receive $2,250. First runner-up, $1,250. Second runner-up, $1,000. Third runner-up, $750. And fourth runner-up tonight will receive $500 in scholarship monies. So everybody's going to walk away with scholarship monies tonight. Yes, yes. Again, these monies are obtained all through donations from our community, and the Miss Amador Scholarship Committee truly appreciates the dedication to the youth of our community. Right now, I'd like to introduce, do we have any members of the Board of Supervisors here tonight? If we have any members, please stand up and we'll go ahead and acknowledge you. Any members of the Board of Supervisors tonight? No members? Okay, we're going to go ahead and mention you and thank you a little later on anyway. So, now as Frank mentioned, the fair theme this year is country tunes and midway blooms. And the contestants were given the topic of what has helped me to bloom into the person that I am today and who I want to be in the future. And they've formulated that into their presentations that you'll see tonight that's been based on this topic. 5 young ladies are all vying for the title of Miss Amador tonight. So, without further ado, we're going to meet them. Performing the dance number choreographed by Cara Augustin of the Studio Performing Technique Dance School. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2015 Miss Amador contestants dancing to the song entitled I Like It, I Love It by Tim McGraw.
Shoulder, but I want her that teddy bear. She's got me saying sugar pie, honey, darling, and dear. I ain't seen the Braves play a game all year. I'm gonna get fired if I don't get some sleep. My long lost buddies say I'm getting in too deep, but I like it, I love it, I want some more of it. I try so hard, I can't rise above it. Don't know what it is about that little gal's love.
and I'm your contestant number 1. This fall, I will be heading off to the University of Irvine to be a ferocious anteater. I'm currently 18 years old. I graduated from Amador High School. While I'm undeclared, I would love to follow my grandfather's footsteps and major in criminology law. I would like to thank my grandmother, Kim Slusser, for sponsoring me tonight in memory of my grandfather, John Slusser. I would also like to thank Julia Burns for her mentorship and guidance through this process.
Hello and welcome to the Amador County Fair. My name is Mackenzie Johnson and I'm contestant number 2. I'm 18 years old and a recent graduate of Argonaut High School. This fall I will be attending Vanguard University while I will be majoring in business and minoring in music. I'd like to give a huge thank you to my sponsors, Logan and Desiree Carnell with Logan Tree Service. Thank you and I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. Good evening. My name is Michaela Heffley and I'm contestant number 3. I'm 16 years old and I'm going to be a senior at Amador High School. After I graduate, I plan on attending Bryn Mawr College with hopes of pursuing a double major in conservation biology and applied linguistics. I'd like to give a huge thank you to my sponsor, Baskin Robbins & Jackson. Thank you and have a splendid rest of your evening.
Machuksus, Kuchayama, Kenny, Oyase, Katherine Stilts. For those of you who don't speak Miwok, what I just said is hello and good evening. My name is Katherine Stilts, and I'm contestant number 4. I'm 18 years old and a recent graduate of Argonaut High School. In the fall, I plan to attend Federico Beauty Institute and come back to Amador County to become a 4-H leader. I would like to thank my sponsor, Bell Farm. Thank you and have a great rest of your evening.
Welcome to the 77th Amador County Fair. My name is Christina Woolsey and I'm contestant number 5. I'm going to be a senior this year at Amador High School. Upon graduation, I plan on attending Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, majoring in agriculture education in hopes of becoming an ag teacher and FFA advisor in Amador County. I would also like to thank my sponsor, Simmons Landscape Company, for supporting me tonight. Thank you and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Ladies and gentlemen, our contestants for Miss Amador 2015. Contestant number 1, Cassidy Slusser. Contestant number 2, Mackenzie Johnson. Contestant number 3, Michaela Heffley. Contestant number 4, Katherine Stilts. And contestant number 5, Christina Woolsey. All right, now while the ladies are backstage preparing for the on-stage portion of tonight's competition, let's take care of a little bit of business. We're going to introduce the judges. First off, let's talk about the judging. Now, the contestants are judged in 5 areas. 5 areas. Academic record, that's 5% of their score. Community service and fair experience, 25% of the score. Personal interview and knowledge of the fair industry is 15%. Communication skills, 25%. And the onstage presentation, which you're about to see, is a whopping 30%. Now, the first 3 categories were judged prior to tonight's event by a separate panel of judges. That was in an interview setting, and that represents 45% of the overall score. So I'm going to introduce the judges who took care of the pre-judging, and if you are here, please stand and acknowledge yourself. First off, Judge Susan Harlan. Susan has served our community as one of our 2 Superior Court judges since 1991. In January of this year, she retired after a distinguished career in which she's known for her.
Oh my gosh.
After several years spent representing children and families in our community, Renee joined the Amador County Superior Court bench in January of 2014, where she serves as a Child Support Commissioner and Judge Pro Tem. Renee has a passion for programs that support literacy and access to the arts for our youth. She is an Exio officer and member of the Amador County Juvenile Justice Delinquency Prevention Commission. Thank you, Renee. Next up, Debbie Bellotti. Debbie, are you with us tonight? Debbie? Debbie has lived in Amador County for over 30 years. She and her husband Joe live in Sutter Creek, and they've raised 2 wonderful young men, Joe and Mike. Mike and his wife Rachel have 2 sons of their own, Cole and Hunter. Debbie is the manager of the Jackson branch of the Bank of America, and Debbie wants to give you a little bit of fair fact history here. The Bank of America was the first bank to have an ATM on the fairgrounds. So, Bank of America. There we go. Next up, Sue Duncan. I see Sue standing over there by Sheriff Ryan, rather. Sue and her husband Barry own and operate Motherlode Printing here in Jackson. She's very active in the community, especially through the Amador County Arts Council. She and Barry enjoy the community spirit here in Amador County, and she's honored to be a judge, and Sue's been a judge for many years in the pre-judge portion of this. And Sue says she's very impressed with the caliber of tonight's contestants. So, Sue, thank you very much. Next up, standing next to her, is Sheriff Martin Ryan. Martin comes from a family with deep roots in Amador County's history. He's a 4th-generation law enforcement officer to serve the county in his 6th-generation family. Sheriff Ryan attended and graduated from local schools as a graduate of the University of California, Davis, the FBI's National Academy, and the California Peace Officer Standards and Training Command College. His law enforcement career spans some 40 years, starting in 1975 with the Amador County District Attorney's Office as an investigator. He then rose to the State Department of Justice, where he became chief of the Attorney General's California Bureau of Investigation. And in 2007, we were lucky enough to snag him as our 25th sheriff. Martin, thank you. Now, in 2009, Martin was honored as the Peace Officer of the Year, and just this year, Martin has become the president of the California State Sheriff's Association, and he currently lives in Sutter Creek with his long-suffering wife, Teresa. All right. Big thank you to all our preliminary judges tonight. This portion of the competition, if you remember, is 30% of the contestants' overall score. It's the on-stage presentation. Each contestant is scored on their articulation, their manner of presentation, their grammar, their confidence, and their overall appearance this evening here on stage. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning of the evening, the contestants were given the topic of what has helped me bloom into the person I am today and the person that I want to be in the future. And again, they've used that to formulate their onstage presentations tonight. Now, while we were talking, you saw some young men come on stage and set stuff up. They're our stage-hands, and we're going to take some time right now to introduce them. Let's give them a big round of applause. Johnny Lebenko and Jaron Esparza. right, so now we're going to introduce to you our 5 contestants this evening, one at a time, and show you how they have blossomed into the young lady that they are today. So please welcome with me contestant number 1, Cassidy Slusser.
In 1938, a man by the name of Harold Colburn had a dream and a vision for this county. He was a man of strong work ethic that persevered through many challenges to bring this fair to you today. Along with the help of many others, I doubt when they set out to bring this fair to life, did they ever envision how many seeds it would sow for the youth, myself included. The seeds for my youth were planted on these grounds on a dirt baseball field known as Colburn Field. Through the dandelion patches and the trucker-style hat, I quickly fell in love with the game. Softball taught me many life lessons that I will use for the rest of my life. Naturally, softball taught me how to be a gracious winner and a proud loser. It's important to respect your opponent and be proud of a great effort, regardless of the final score. This lesson I bring with me into the show ring. There's only one grand champion and one reserve champion, and win or lose, you shake the judge's hand, thank him, and then help your fellow exhibitors with their animals. It's what we do here at Fair. I've had so many coaches and leaders over the years, often my parents and sometimes other volunteers. My most memorable coach was Rory Wilkerson from Roseville Thunder Softball because he found creative ways to push us. For example, making me pitch from behind second base all the way to home plate. Crazy, right? Who does that? But believe it or not, a lot of speed from that drill. He made softball fun at a time in my life where it was really easy to forget why I loved it. After having played for so many years and for so many different competitive teams, it was really nice just to have fun. I've learned that not every coach is your favorite, but isn't that the way life goes? I've learned to take criticism, which is not easy to do in the middle of a game when it feels like it's about to slide away from you, and here's someone telling you that you're doing it wrong. But you learn to focus on the drive to improve, to do better, stronger, and faster, and you deliver. You persevere, just like Mr. Colburn did. Winners are not people who have never lost, but people who never give up. It's something that every fair exhibitor learns. We all want to win, yet we all help each other in the midst of competition, and we all make time for fun. Fair time is fun time, after all. The best part of softball for me was making new lifelong friends. Friends that aren't just teammates, but family. Part of being on a travel softball team meant traveling to different tournaments throughout the state and at times out of state. After a tournament in Oregon, I brought 4 teammates to our small town county fair and gave them the ultimate small town experience. From waking them up at 5 a.m. to feed, bathe, and tend to my show pig and rabbits, to showing them all the different exhibits and rides our fair has to offer, they naturally fell in love. Almost all 4 of them wanted to come live with me after they saw how fun our small county life truly is. Having come from big cities, the only fair experience they had ever endured was the state fair. They had no idea what it was like to live in a small county where everybody knows each other some way or another and where there's a community who cares so much about agriculture. In September, I leave for the University of California, Irvine. While I do not plan to play softball for UC Irvine, I'm sure I will continue to play for the rest of my adult life. It would be a privilege to go to college, having been Miss Amador, and being able to share and represent the county that has given me everything that I could ever imagine. Without the help of this community, this fair, and the dirt field over there that everyone has their car parked on, I could not be allowed to blossom into who I am today. Thank you all for coming tonight. I hope you enjoy your time, and remember, most of all, fair time is fun time.
Thank you, contestant number 1, Cassidy Slusser. I'm going to bring out a big, long list of thank yous here, and I want to just mention some of them very briefly here. We mentioned the Amador County Board of Supervisors. The Amador County Board of Supervisors are one of the biggest, if not the biggest, contributor to the scholarship pageant. We want to thank them individually. Supervisor John Plaz, Supervisor Louis Boitano, Supervisor Richard Forrester, Supervisor Brian Oneto, and Supervisor Lynn Morgan. We thank them very much. And next time you see your supervisor, thank them for helping with the Miss Amador pageant. We also have some royalty from some other areas as well, and I think we'll take just a quick moment here while the boys are setting this up and introduce, first off, let's introduce, welcome Miss Calaveras 2007. Are you with us today? Where's she at? Shady Emerson? Not here yet? Okay. Is Jackie Moreau here? Jackie? Stand up, Jackie. Jackie is Miss Calaveras Volunteer Group Princess, and we're going to talk about them a little later on today. You'll find out all about that, because I believe we have one of the judges today, right? And we're going to talk about you, and we'll find out more about that program when you're with you. Okay. All right. Let's welcome back on stage contestant number 2, Mackenzie Johnson.
I have always loved music, but it wasn't until recent years, through the encouragement of significant people, that I began to risk putting that love out there to share with others. I've had the privilege of singing at my church and community events, including singing the national anthem at football and basketball games and my graduation ceremony. Taking risks like these and listening to those important voices have allowed me to grow and bloom into being the person that I am meant to be. And for this reason, I will never forget my roots. The amount of joy I find when singing is an incredible blessing, and I am wanting to pursue this gift in hopes of giving back to my community and giving glory to God for blessing me. The song that I'm singing tonight reflects 2 core values that this community has affirmed in me: my love for God and my love for my country.
On the
Consider someone you can invest in and whose life you may impact, like people in this county have done for me. Thank you.
Contestant number 2, Mackenzie Johnson. One of the other folks here real quick. Jackson Rotary Club of Jackson, we thank them. Charles, thank you very much. National Hotel, why did it take so long to include the midway blooms in the theme? I mean, think about it. What's the first thing you see when you walk into the fair? Very first thing you see, right? The flowers. When people talk to you about the fair, what do they talk about? They talk about the flowers, okay? Talk about the flowers. Flowers, Evelyn Bishop is the one that got that started many, many, many years ago. A lot of you old timers out there will remember Evelyn. Evelyn was a volunteer here at the Amador County Fair, was a 4-H leader. Evelyn retired in her 90s, early 90s, from working on the flowers. And now we have 2 ladies who've taken over, Nancy Hawkins and Katie Bryant, and they do a fantastic job. And let's give them a big round of applause. I don't think we give them enough. Okay. All right, let's bring out contestant number 3. Welcome, Michaela Heffley.
I can tell you what helped me bloom into who I am today, but it will only make sense if you see who I was before I bloomed. Imagine me as this flower, a daffodil, also known as a narcissus flower. I had this internal narcissism going on. I felt like I was somehow better than others, and I didn't need anybody else's help with anything. I could do it myself, and you better believe it was going to be perfect. That was my attitude. It's said that single daffodils signal a coming misfortune, and I think that's where I was at. I had reached a crossroads in life. I could choose to take the road of isolation and try to do it on my own and risk facing that misfortune, or I could pick the road of cooperation and actually accept the help and advice given by others. Galatians 6:3 says, "For if anyone thinks himself to be something when he's nothing, he deceives himself." This verse really struck me. You see, I felt like I had just so much to offer on my own, when in reality, I was deceiving myself because I was just this stubborn, self-absorbed little daffodil. At that crossroads, I decided to take the right path. I needed to heed others' advice and learn lessons from the people who were put in my life. And that is how I bloomed into who I am today. I have a teacher named Mrs. Wall, and it turns out she's really good at telling you what you need to hear, even if you don't necessarily want to hear it or appreciate it. Let me give you an example. I was explaining to her that I was worried I might fail my driving test, and instead of reassuring me and saying, "Oh, you'll do fine," she said, "Failing that test would be good for you." I confusedly laughed it off, but it turns out she was so right. I did, in fact, fail my driving test. I have my license now, but I learned a lot from failing the test the first time. I definitely learned to appreciate how much my parents and my older sister drive me around everywhere, but more importantly, I learned that you can't always win, you can't pass every test, and sometimes you have to chalk these things up to good learning experiences, because that's exactly what they are. I learned you have to learn from your mistakes and keep on going. So here's a purple iris representing the wise words that Mrs. Wall and others have imparted upon me that have allowed me to learn some tough lessons and help me bloom into who I am today. This past January, Ms. Bomarito, my art teacher, took the advanced art students on a field trip to see Keith Haring's The Political Line exhibit at the DeYoung Museum. Keith Haring's street art came as a shock to me, and I became distraught over what I saw. What was so great about it, though, was that Miss Bomarito turned the situation into a life lesson. She explained that people will always disagree about big issues like religion and politics, and we'll always come across people who disagree with our own worldviews. But that doesn't mean we can't come to some sort of understanding with those people. You can't knock them for their beliefs or ideas if you've never been in their shoes. Perspective, I learned, is the key to understanding and the key to avoid misunderstanding. So when I add this this orchid to these other flowers, it represents everything I learned from Miss Bomarito and my time in art class. And now, I'd like to add a yellow rose to symbolize how I learned the importance of finding true friends who can help carry you through life, and a sunflower to represent my family and how they taught me the importance of being able to laugh, especially at myself. And then I have a pink rose to symbolize all the kind words and encouragement that people in this community have given me, words that have helped me accomplish my goals and realize my dreams and aspirations. And finally, a gladiola to symbolize how I learned the importance of having moral integrity and strength of character, even when it may be difficult. I started off as this sad little daffodil, but I bloomed into this bouquet of flowers. It's not a bouquet with a color scheme or a perfect arrangement, but you know what? That's okay, because this bouquet represents who I am and all of the people that have helped me bloom into who I am today. And to all of you out there who have helped and encouraged me, I give you my biggest thanks, because I would not be standing here if it weren't for you. And finally, this bouquet represents who I want to be in the future. I've learned some lessons, I've gathered some flowers, but I want to continue to grow in the hopes that someday I'll be the one to donate some advice of my own to other little daffodils that are stuck at a crossroads in need of some serious help. Thank you.
Contestant number 3, Michaela Heffley. Thank you. Can I have a volunteer out of the audience? Come on up. Just come right here. I'm going to give you the wireless microphone. She thought I was going to saw her in half or put her in a cabinet and make her disappear. What do I do? Okay, no, honey. Stay right here. That's the fun part of the show. Okay, is there any former Miss Amadors here in the audience tonight? If so, raise your hand or stand up, please. Any former? All right, go on over there. Go on over there, let her introduce herself and tell us what year you were Miss Amador. Go ahead. She's right over there, right there.
Hi, my name is Morgan Grazade, and I was Miss Amador in the year of 2013.
All right. Okay, get the microphone back. Any other ones? Any other? Just wanted to make sure you were listening. Come on, Miss Amador, stand up. We know you're out there. Any other former Miss Amadors? No. Anybody wanted to be Miss Amador? All right. Yeah, there we go, Annie.
Hi, my name is Annie Crew-Renzo, and I was Miss Amador in 1997.
All right. Any other former Miss Amadors out there? Now's the time. Okay, former Miss Congeniality. Who do we have? There we go. Bring the microphone over there. Let's find out who that is. All right, let's bring up contestant number 4, Katherine Stilts.
Seven generations ago, my roots were planted in Amador County. At just 3 years old, I showed my first craft at the fair. Every year since then, a series of volunteers, leaders, parents, and teen leaders have become my extended fair family guided me in my fair endeavors, and helped me bloom into who I am today. One of the first teen leaders who helped inspire me was Blair Yeager. Blair was an officer in our 4-H club, led our club in community service, and was crowned Miss Amador 2004. Later that October, for Halloween, that's exactly who I had to be. I mean, how many people can say they were Miss Amador for Halloween? But you see, it was more than that for me. I wanted to have the qualities that Blair had. She helped to inspire me to give back to my community as well. As a 4-H member, there's a star just for community service called the Emerald Star. I teamed up with my friend and fellow 4-H member, Carson White. As part of our application process, we presented our service project to the council. With their approval, we organized a small animal field day at Rancher's Outlet to help prepare young exhibitors for fair. I bet you're wondering where you can get a stylish green corduroy jacket like mine. As a 4-H member, you can earn this jacket by earning all of your stars: bronze, silver, gold, platinum, and your all-star. All of those stars inspired by the excitement of winning my first blue ribbon on my painted flower pot. It's fitting that my first winning fair entry was a flower pot. Like all of the volunteers before me, I couldn't wait to become a junior and teen leader and to help the next generation of fair exhibitors bloom. In my 15 years of showing at the fair, my favorite competition is livestock showmanship. In showmanship, your animal doesn't have to be the best. It's about my knowledge as an exhibitor. As much as I like showmanship, I especially like qualifying for round robin, where you show multiple species against other exhibitors who qualified. I think my favorite part is getting together with the other exhibitors and helping each other, even if it sometimes isn't too helpful. Like the time Jesse told everyone the chicken was a certain variety. We all answered with confidence, and we're all wrong because he made a mistake. Or there was the time my mom told my brother to go get his whites on, and he came back to the rabbit barn in a panic because they didn't fit. He had 3 inches hanging out of his sleeves and high water, flare leg skinny jeans on. I don't know who laughed harder, my mom or the judge. Showmanship has given me a sense of self-confidence as well. In fact, I'm so confident in my showmanship skills that I just performed rabbit showmanship while talking to you all. Starting with my flower pot, these experiences have helped me bloom into who I am today. Thank you.
Thank you, contestant number 4, Katherine Stilts. I was talking about coming into the fairgrounds and seeing the flowers. I don't think, maybe a lot of the young kids don't understand this, and tomorrow if you're going to be on the fairgrounds, I challenge you to take this little walk. I want you to come into the fairgrounds, and I want you to first start off with the Miwok Village up on Picnic Hill, okay? That's Amador County's first settlers, okay? So visit with them for a while. Then go on over and visit with the Mountain Men encampment over by Frontier Town, okay? So then we have that. We have the first settlers, first explorers. Then we go and we visit the gold mine, the gold mine, the operating gold mine, what made California, put California on the map. Following that, check out the sawmill. The sawmill that helped build California. Then go over and check out the antique gas engines, the antique tractor and gas engines display. That's behind the General Mercantile Building and the Floriculture Building. Okay, that mechanized California. That allowed California to become a rich farming state and a mechanized state, okay? And from that, we have Frontier Town, and that's what we see. You've got a California history lesson all in one visit to the Amador County Fair. So I don't know if you realize that or not, but visit with the Mountain Men, with the Miwok Village, and then check out all of the other, and they're free. You can visit the operating gold mine, go over to the gas engines, the sawmill. When it's operating, they operate throughout the day. And a lot of the lumber that's milled there in the sawmill is used in the buildings here on the fairgrounds. And then visit Frontier Town. So you get a complete California history lesson all in one place. And I think that's just fantastic. I don't know of any other fairgrounds in California, any other fairgrounds, including Cal Expo, that you can go find a living history lesson of California all in one place, and all for free, okay, all for the price of admission. Our fifth and final contestant of the evening, please welcome Christina Woolsey.
As we mingle with others, let us be diligent in labor, just in our dealings, courteous to everyone, and above all, honest and fair in the game of life. Not only has this quote made an impact on my endeavors of agriculture, but has also influenced my passion of dance. I have served in Willow Springs 4-H for 9 years and decided my freshman year I wanted to show livestock through Sutter Creek FFA. It all started when I walked into my agriculture science class my freshman year with Mrs. Benner. That's when I came to the realization that FFA is more than just agriculture. It's a lifestyle. With the help of my chapter, ag advisors, and community, I was able to achieve my FFA state degree with 400 hours of community service. FFA gave me the opportunity to represent my chapter at the National Convention in Kentucky, become Sutter Creek FFA's president, or even have the desire to become a California FFA state officer. I was even able to spread my passion of dance into my love for agriculture, whether it was tap, being a part of jazz, or doing ballet. You could always find me in the studio. In 2013, the California 4-H organization celebrated their 100th year anniversary at their state conference by choosing 6 applicants to dance. I was honored to be one of those 6. The dance I'll be performing tonight is the same dance I performed at their state conference, and I hope you enjoy. I would also like to give a special thanks to Simmons Landscape Company for supporting me throughout the years. Star Dancer for giving me a home away from home. Mr. Mendoza and Mrs. Benner for being my role models and always believing in me. To my family, especially my mom and dad, for being my #1 fans. Last but not least, thank you to all of you. You have continuously supported me in my life adventures and have helped me blossom into the person I am today. Without Amador County, I would not be standing here tonight. With these stepping stones, my dream is to become an agriculture teacher and FFA advisor in Amador County. I only hope I can give the next generation the same experience and opportunities that this county has given me.
Whenever one door closes, I hope
Contestant number 5, Christina Woolsey. We've got some talented young people here in Amador County. We really do. Let's give it up for all 5 contestants so far. Doing a great job. Great job here. Real quick, let's again thank some more folks for making this possible. The Wealth Management Office of William Peterson, the Feed Barn, Jackson Cleaners, and Melon Faye's Diner, and Robert Hahn Automotive. I want to thank them very much for sponsoring. Also, Tom and Patty Payton of Goldmine Jewelers. They've been donating the Miss Congeniality Award for many, many years. Gordon Hill Flower Shop for donating all the beautiful flowers tonight. And of course, we want to welcome or thank again our great prop guys there. Jaron. Johnny, where are you? Thank you, guys. All right, I'd like to introduce to you now our reigning Miss Amador for 2014. She's going to tell you a little bit about her year as Miss Amador. And would like to acknowledge her parents who are sitting in the audience tonight. Where are they? Ron and Jamie Lebenko. Want to wave everybody there? All right, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Miss Amador 2014, Bailey Lebenko.
You have no idea what a whirlwind of hairspray, eyeliner, and undergarments it is backstage right now. And in the middle of all that craziness, there's a group of incredibly special ladies who are making all of this magic happen. So before I could even start my farewell speech, I think it's enormously important to recognize them. Our pageant coordinators and volunteers, Kim Toma, Lori Halverson, Amanda Halverson, Tacey Ruin, and Pam Harris, have made an enormous investment in these ladies, this county fair, and myself. And we all owe them a debt of gratitude. Thank you, ladies. Being crowned Miss Amador County 2015 was one of the biggest honors of my life, and I was so proud to represent something that is so important to me. I always knew that my hometown was a special place, but this took on a whole new meaning as I left for my first year of college. I soon realized that this sense of pride went with me everywhere. Making new friends, joining new clubs, meeting new teachers and roommates always led to the same typical questions. What's your name and where are you from? My answer, however, was never typical. My name is Bailey, and I'm from Fiddletown, California. People don't really glaze over an answer like Fiddletown. As most of you know, telling someone you're from Amador County or Fiddletown, population 200, gets you the where the heck is that look? So I got a whole lot of practice explaining where Amador County is, where Fiddletown is, and that it's not horrible living someplace where everyone knows your name, but that it's honestly the exact opposite. Amador County, our towns and our back roads, our sunsets and high school rivalries, our 4-H and FFA programs, scholarship nights that take hours on end, livestock auctions, and fundraisers where we serve tri-tip and raise enormous amounts of money to help out others are something that not just me, but every single one of us should be proud of. I rattle on about this place so much that I'm pretty sure some of my new friends don't even believe it actually exists. So when I say it's truly been my honor, Amador County, I hope you know that I say with the most sincerity that it truly was my pleasure to walk in your parades, to hold hands with your children, to meet your veterans, and to work alongside your tireless volunteers, to plant strawberries with the preschoolers, and to set the best possible example I could for the young kids in this community who look up to me. I was proud to represent the very fair that was started 77 years ago with a lot of help from my great-grandfathers, Harold Colburn and Martin Lebanco. I have a bit of a family legacy here, and I hope that I made them proud. Speaking of families, this past year, I've had 2 business sponsors that have been more like family than sponsors. They are also the type of people that invest so much in this community that representing them was an entirely different honor in and of itself. Thank you so much to Cooper Vineyards and the Cooper family, and to Simmons Landscape and the Simmons family for everything that you do for me and for this community. But my biggest thank you of all goes to my family. To my parents, Ron and Jamie, for always teaching me to hold my head high and be proud of myself no matter where life takes me. And my brothers, Johnny and Michael, for showing me that it's okay to have a little laughter and adventure along the way. You guys are my best friends, and I don't know what I would do without you. Thank you for all of the whole heart love and support you have given me throughout my year as Miss Amador. Although tonight may be the last time that I wear the sash and crown, I know that I will continue to be involved and to love this community. Thank you, Amador County, for the opportunity of a lifetime. I will always be proud to be from my small town, USA.
Thank you, Bailey, Miss Amador 2014. Bailey Lebanco. Okay. All right, we're going to ask Kyra Augustin to come up on stage here. Kyra owns the Studio Performing Technique Dance School, which opened 3 years ago in Martell. Her training started early in Amador County under Sue Brummett's Dance Factory and Kids on Stage Performing Arts Group. She also studied classical ballet with Sheila Darby and was accepted to the Margaret Farr's Theater Ballet in Sacramento. Miss Augustin has had extensive training at numerous intensive programs and courses throughout the country and abroad, including the University of Victoria Canada Dance. And she has been teaching ballet, jazz, and contemporary dance for the past 10 years, as well as choreographing many pieces for the Dance Factory, the Sierra Ballet School, the Amador High School Drama Department, the Volcano Theater Company, and our own Miss Amador pageant. So ladies and gentlemen, let's thank Kara. Thank you. Sorry, Kara. That's And we have a little present, Gianna? Okay. Gianna Toma presenting a present. Hey, don't go anyway. Help me out here. No, come on. Turn the wireless on for a second. Okay, so we're going to bring some dancers out. Okay, so I want you to introduce them and tell us a little bit about the number we're going to see tonight.
Okay, so we have 4 dancers from the studio. We have Lily Hureta, we have Adia Hoyle, we have Sam and Gabby Riviera. The dance that they're doing tonight is called Crossroads. It's choreographed by one of my instructors, Kate Allen. And this dance was dedicated to Kate Allen's brand new baby girl, Pearl.
Okay. And the dance number is entitled Crossroads by Tracy Chapman, right? All right, thank you very much.
Do you want me to talk about the other dance for later?
Nope, we'll do that later. Thank you.
All you of hell. I look to the left, I look to the right. Hands that grab me on every side. Like I got my prize, which I'll sell, that is mine. Think money rules when all else fails. Go sell your soul, keep your shell. I'm trying to protect what I keep inside. All the reasons why I live my life. I say the devil, he walking mad. He a fool, he a liar, conjuring a thief. Try to tell you what you want, try to tell you what you need.
Thank you, ladies. We're going to see another routine a little later on, too. So. All right, let's introduce tonight's judges. Now, as I mentioned before, we have a different panel. Now, the last two categories that are going to be judged tonight represent 55%, the remaining 55% of the competition. So tonight, let's welcome Lacey Neufeld. Lacey. Lacey's pageant director for the Miss Calavera Scholarship Pageant. She's been directing the pageant for 9 years, as well as choreographing the open numbers and fitness routines. She's also the director of the Miss Calaveras Volunteer Group, whose purpose is to volunteer for local organizations and fundraisers for charity, as well as participating in the Dancing with the Sierra Stars. And how do you find time to become a nurse? You're a registered nurse, right? A working registered nurse at the Sonora Regional Medical Center. So thanks for being with us tonight, okay? Our next judge, Greg and I have known each other probably for what, Greg, 40 years? Yeah. I mean, late 70s, you know? So Greg Hegwer is with us tonight. Greg is a retired fair manager for the Gold Country Fair and the Colusa County Fair, currently the manager of the Placer County Fair. He's also the events coordinator for the El Dorado County Fair, where he produced 40 of these pageants. Greg is also a booking agent for That's Entertainment. Greg, thanks for being with us tonight. Stand up and be counted. Chantel? All right, Chantel Woos is with us. Chantel is a host, writer, and producer for TV 30 Tri-Valley TV in Pleasanton, California. In her free time, she loves going to Disneyland, hiking, running, cooking, and wine tasting. All right. Next up, former Miss Amador, crowned in 1997. Annie Crew Renzo. Annie, stand up and give a big wave there. She put her scholarship monies to good use, obtained a master's in theology from Notre Dame, and is now a high school theology teacher at Jesuit High School in Sacramento. She was raised here in Jackson. She now resides in Sacramento with her husband of 12 years, Clayton. And Annie and Clayton have daughters Ella, who's 4, and son Leo, who is 18 months. And so your secret little TV obsession is Dancing with the Stars, it says here. Is that true? All right. Come to my house. My wife watches it all the time. We try to talk her out of it. Tell her it's not on this week, but she always knows it is. So, Annie, thanks for being with us here. Almost forgot you, Richie. I put your paper away. Rich Hoffman. Rich was raised in Volcano, California, attended Amador High School. Spent the first half of his career in advertising sales before coming to the Jackson Rancheria in 1997 as a media buyer. He quickly rose to the position of CEO, which he currently maintains. Rich is also a director for the Amador County Chamber of Commerce and is the past chairman of the Jackson Revitalization Committee. In Rich's spare time, it says here, he likes to play the guitar, enjoys the outdoors, go on long Sunday walks, and pillow fights. Thank you, Rich. Rich Hoffman. I want to thank you all for helping us out and supporting the pageants like you have in the past. Did our prop guys go? They left, right? Okay. Hey, let's see. Is Rebecca Robertson here? Rebecca? All right. Rebecca is Miss Placer County, U.S. 2015. And Sammy Bentley. Sammy, Miss Placer County U.S. Ambassador 2015. Thank you. All right.